Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. Buckle up, everybody. We've got a lot of UFO sightings for you tonight, and it's my pleasure to bring it to you. It's the middle of the month, 2021, and the year's just got started, but are you ready to see some amazing UFOs? Give us a big thumbs up if you're joining us in the live premiere. We got the whole round table tonight. We got Goof On, Richard Giordano, along with Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions, Dr. J from Dr. J Radio Live, including my brother Brent. He's here, along with Dark Hour Paranormal. Michael is also with us, so it's going to get wild. So I want you guys to take a look at this. A video out of Long Beach. Is this the TR3B? Check it out. All right, we're looking at this video and it's hard to say exactly what it is, but we could rule out any kind of CGI. Whatever is in the sky, it's there, and it's hard to say how large it is, but from what the eyewitness stated is that this thing made no sound whatsoever. What is it doing out over the coast of Long Beach? Now let's get to Brent first, and I want to get your thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited what the panel's going to say about this. Yeah, look at this object in the sky over Long Beach, California. What is it? Is it a holographic projection or possibly a drone, a new prototype that we're not familiar with? Because I've never seen anything like this comparatively to your standard drone that flies in the skies from your novice drone operator. This is something entirely different. Could it be military?
Absolutely, Brent. Now let's get to the panel and start the discussion on this video before we get to the others. Dr. J, I want to get your thoughts on this video. Thanks for joining us.
Wow, Blake and Brent. Another incredible video brought to Third Phase of Moon. My first impression was that it was a triangular craft, TR3B possibly. However, it seems to either morph or I don't know what else you want to call it, because in other angles, it looks less of a triangle and more like a diamond shaped with two orbs on it. I mean, I don't want to make any joke here, but in some instances, those two orbs on the top kind of remind me of like round, literally circular Mickey Mouse ears. That's the first impression I had of what the top is. Now, what does this mean? This could be a triangular, or better, should I say, a diamond-shaped craft, and the two orbs may be other craft that are docking onto the larger ship. I also like the fact that the person who recorded this brought the moon in there. He scrolled over to the moon. That way we can see the reference and then go back. That gives us two references: where it was in the sky and, more importantly, the size. Now, near the end of the video, the fact that it seems to morph back into one ball. Now, is it because it has gone further distance and is therefore only seen as a single orb? Again, because of the light being so bright? Or has it just simply morphed? This is one of those videos that I have to say is one of the greater ones, just because of the multiple things you're seeing. We're seeing one, if not more craft, and the one or more craft seem to morph. And then as they go into that one orb, then it goes back to the other diamond with the two orbs on top. So I really would like to know if it's one or more craft. Now, because this was filmed in a very populated center right here in Los Angeles, specifically Long Beach, I'm hoping others were witnessing this.
Michael, you're up next from Dark Hour Paranormal. I'm wondering, what's your thoughts on this video?
Here we have another incredible video demonstrating yet another anomaly in our night sky. This configuration is interesting and really does remind me of the TR-3B as Blake has mentioned. Many years ago, back in 2006, I saw a triangular formation with 3 lights at each apex sitting stationary in the night sky. I didn't see anything in the way of lights underneath the craft, the way that we're seeing in this video, but there might be a parallel here. The witnesses reported no sound coming from the craft, which is something that we've become familiar with in respect to these kind of sightings. And if this was indeed a drone, I think we would have heard it, and it would be massive in size analyzing the video further. The fact that we at one point witnessed 2 crafts lends only to more questions about the origin of this UFO. I often wonder what the significance in the color of lights might be in some of these unidentified crafts, especially because I understand frequency often parallels certain planes of perception, and of course this also relates to the human chakras. So how does our understanding of color and frequency transpose to an analysis of what we see in our skies? That has yet to be determined.
Now, let's get to this incredible sighting that we received over here at Third Phase of Moon, and it's incredible. I want everybody to take a close look at this. It's an incredible cigar-shaped UFO, harnessing possibly the energy from a volcano. These are still images that still can't be explained today, but is this something otherworldly? Because right now I'm looking at it, and it definitely has structure. Before we get to the panel, Brent's here, and I want to get his thoughts.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty wild volcanic activity. We just had a little earthquake here on the Big Island about an hour ago. I think it's about a 4.5. It shook the house up pretty good. Could these be balls of light that happened during seismic activity? This looks nothing like it. This looks like a spaceship, some sort of fuselage. You could even see the elongated craft, and it's even illuminated from underneath. It looks artificial. It looks like it's made.
Absolutely, Brent. This is otherworldly in my opinion. I'm sure the panel has a lot to say. Let's start it off with Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions.
Once again, another amazing video. This one really made my day. I tell you, seeing this just, it's amazing. An actual cigar ship, or as we've been saying lately, possibly Space Force. And there has been many mentions of how the spacecraft utilize volcanoes to refuel their batteries, you might say, from I don't know how they do it, but they see them a lot around volcanoes. But the fact that we have this photo so well lit because of the brightness of the volcano and the underbelly of this object, it just seemed to lose all cloaking capability, I guess. But this is an amazing shot, just amazing. If this was video, I would love to see it, but this is the cigar-shaped ship that so many people have spoken of in the past. And the fact that it was caught that clear, this is one of the better photos that I've seen. So very, very impressive. But here's my question. How many people do you think are aboard that craft? How big is it really? And is it like a submarine? Or is it a form of a submarine that can float with Tesla technology or, toroidal energy? We will soon see, hopefully, one day. But this is probably one of the best images of the cigar ships I've seen in a long time. This is a good find, good find.
So what's your thoughts on this, Kufan?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I am looking at this video over this volcano, and I see it 2 different ways, believe it or not. I don't know if you guys see it as well. I see it as a cigar-shaped craft, and then I also see what looks like, to the left side, I see what looks like a hole, like maybe a rip in space-time, and something shooting through it, coming out of it. You know what I mean? It looks like it's going from left to right. That, to me, looks like something opened up like a portal and something came through it. Okay, it's a photograph. It may be a stretch, but I see that this object looks like it's moving from out of that white lit up area. I can't see it as being one big craft. I just don't see it. Or one craft. If I was to guess the size of this thing, I would say it's probably 40 to 60 feet. If it's a tube or cigar-shaped craft. I, for one, think something came out of a portal. That's what I'm going to say. And it's really an interesting way I'm seeing it. I don't see it as one object that's long. I see it as maybe a ball or maybe some sort of bell disc-shaped object, perhaps, coming through a rip in space and time. It's really bizarre. I know, I can't believe I'm saying it. But that's what it looks like to me.
Now, let's get to this. More videos just into third phase of moon. Check it out. A swarm of UFOs over Norway. Watch. So the lights are lighting up over Norway. It's also happening around the world, but this video really showcases these swarm events of UFOs, fleets of UFOs in the sky, some people call them. And I'm sure people right now in the chat are kind of like, wow, this is incredible footage. So let's break it down. Brent, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is crazy footage. Look at the fleet. It's coming directly at the camera, and you can see it's traveling in formation. It almost seems like it's a pathway of vehicles floating in the sky, and you're seeing their headlights. It's fascinating footage. Could these be drones or a flock of birds? I don't think so. These are something that looks something almost interdimensional, the way they're popping in and out. It's fascinating footage. What's your thoughts, guys?
Every time I see video that has multiple, and I mean literally swarms, fleets of craft, I get really excited. Now, on the downside is the reason why we have so many craft over Earth, because they are watching something major that's about to happen, i.e. a volcanic eruption, an earthquake, a war, a massive tidal wave, tsunami, whatever it may be. On the flip side, is it that they are all there to see something great happening with humanity? Now, some will argue that this is all from one craft. Well, the arguments against that are these circles of light are not essentially in one line. You don't see structure between each of these glowing lights, which indicate to me that all of them are operating under their own volition and are not connected to the other, especially as you see some move and up and down and also side to side. So this reminds me of what people saw in Mexico more than once, but the main one that I'm talking about in Mexico was when there was a solar eclipse, and you had people from around the world go to Mexico and keep their eyes in the sky, and while the solar eclipse was happening, there came the fleet. So that's what I personally think this is, a fleet of UFOs or UAPs.
So what's your thoughts on this, Michael?
Anytime I see a video with a fleet of UFOs, my mind first goes to, are these flares? Are these objects set aflame and sent into the skies? But as you see in this video, there's a strobing effect that I don't believe these flares would necessarily exhibit. Also, if these flares were sent into the air or dropped from above, they would more than likely be staggered, at least as a result of the environment around them. In this video, we're witnessing these lights in a more linear fashion, which is incongruous to certain logical explanation. Are we witnessing a cloaked mothership? Are we seeing individual scouts come down to observe our planet? I'm also seeing a clustering effect which seems to stem from a source which we can't see. Is there something beyond our vision that's releasing these vehicles into the atmosphere? Again, this is yet another tantalizing bit of visual evidence for that which we cannot explain.
Now, let's take it out to Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions. I'm curious on what you think of this video.
All right, guys. I don't know how you do it, but the videos just seem to always get better and better. This one from Norway, I have to say, is another wow video. But let's look at the possibilities. Some would say this is a flock of birds, and it's the reflection off their chests from the sun coming up over the horizon. Well, that is true. That does happen, and it has been misinterpreted as a UFO encounter or sighting. But this is interesting because birds have usually a better formation, and this seems very sporadic. And where are they coming from? I mean, it's like they're literally just coming out of nowhere in this cloud and then coming down. I mean, Chinese lanterns. I mean, it could. They're moving too fast, and they have control of the curvature at the beginning, at the top of wherever they're coming from. This is and some glow extremely bright. And if it was a flock of birds, I mean, when have you ever seen that many birds? Skydivers, same thing. You don't have. There's not a plane that could hold that many skydivers with flares to do this. What is this that we are seeing? I'm stumped. I'm stumped.
Incredible UFOs and an incredible panel tonight. I want to thank everybody who joined us on the roundtable. You could go check them out. All the links will be below. Make sure when you go and check out the channels, Dr. J from Dr. J Radio Live, Michael from Dark Hour Paranormal, along with Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions, and Rich from Goof On. You go tell them Third Phase of Moon sent you. And in the meanwhile, keep your eyes on the skies and be safe out there. Have that camera ready, and if you capture anything, submit that video to us right here at Third Phase of Moon. Just upload that video to YouTube, copy paste that link. My email is in the description below. We'll see you real soon.
Are beyond any capability that we can identify with an Earth nation, either in delivery, in platform, something that a military is showing, or is in development.
The world's largest UFO hunt is on.
A black triangle, white sort of indicator lights on its peripheral tips, coming out of the water.
UFO investigators Blake Cousins, in search of off-world vehicles, along with his twin brother Brent Cousins. Is there ET presence among us? In search for the truth, disclosure is happening now. The UFO Report has the largest archive of the best UFO videos from around the world. Hidden secrets waiting to be unlocked. Incredible UFO videos captured around the world by the public.
Underwater UFOs, which behave in ways that science can't explain.
If you ever wondered whether we're alone in the universe, the answer is here.
Turn the music off! Oh, dude, my God.
UFO Report, Third Phase of Moon. We're not alone.
So expound on that a little bit. There have been over the years a number of reports of unidentified underwater vehicles moving in ways that don't make any sense at all. Tell us what you know about that.